Hello everyone, welcome back to our shopping cart series. So today will be a very quick video where we develop a critical component. The component is add to cart button. So before we start developing, let's have a look at the component, what we are trying to achieve. So right now, we are very familiar with this product type. We've seen it. It has two buttons, view details and add to cart. And when you click on add to cart, right now we do not have any visual indicator whether the product is added to cart or how many quantities of the product are in cart. And that's what we are about to change now. So we'll create a button which is able to change the state. So if you look at this button, this add to cart button, whenever we add a product to cart, it will automatically update itself and change the label to item is in cart. So item in cart, and then also show you the quantity of the product that you have added in cart. So this way we'll have a visual indicator available on our product tiles for all the products that we are adding. So with this understanding, let's go ahead and dive into the implementation. So far what we've done, we have created the folder structure, and in the previous session, we created Axios-based service, which is a very detailed service having error handling and everything. In case you missed this session, please go through the previous video. I'll attach the link to that in the information section. Apart from that, in the previous sessions, we've already created all the starting components, the placeholders and reducers. All the respective videos are there in the shopping cart playlist. Please go through them if you've missed any of them or need clarification on anything that we've done so far. And also, in case you're starting today, you feel comfortable with the concepts and you want to code along, the starting project is there in the description of the video. Please click through it, download it. You would have to run npm install once, and then you will be able to run the same project using npm start. I'll also start the server, npm start, and minimize this. Now let's have a look at our application. So this is what we've developed so far. You have this entire product listing page where when you add a product to cart, it is added to our state, which is coming from our reducer. And if you click on any product multiple times, it adds multiple quantities of the same product instead of adding it multiple times. So all that is already handled. Now let's dive into the implementation. So for that, what we would do, we already have a placeholder component. Let's open it and let's go to our product tile and copy this button. Now, what do we need to ensure that this button shows the appropriate states? So first thing, let's start creating the props. First prop that we would need is an add to cart method, definitely. So add to cart, and that would be non-optional. So it has to be a function that is definitely to be passed. Then an optional identifier, whether the product is in cart, and then how many products are in cart. That also is something that we would want to understand. We'll add another property, instance in cart. This would be optional and it would be of type cart item. So we can definitely destructure it from the state here as well, but I don't want a button that is very specific to a product tile to go through all the products that are in cart and then make a decision. So it should ideally come from the product tile because product would already have that information. So these are the two properties. And how do we bind it? We will declare this as a functional component and then bind the type definition to functional component. This way, you have these available for destructuring. So you add to cart and product instance in cart. Both of them are available. Now in here, let's add a div with class as positional relative and some margin. Then we'll paste our button that we just took from our product tag. Import, and now this would become add to cart. All good so far, very clear. And let's go to our product tile and make this update. So right now it'll error out, but we'll see how do we fix it. So now we are using add to cart button directly, and in here add to cart is handle add to cart, the same method that we had before, but for product instance, let's see how we will get that. And now we do not need this icon. Now we already are destructuring dispatch. Let's take state as well. And how do you get the instance of product in cart? So you have all your items in cart, and here we'll just check if current item.id is equals to product.id. In case this is in cart, it will give you the corresponding cart item. So find will return the item to you. And if you hover over it, you would see it would be of type cart item or undefined. In case it doesn't find any match, you will get this undefined. So this product in cart we can send directly. Product instance from cart. So now a proper name. Yeah. So product instance from cart, we can send it to product instance in cart. And this way, now let's have a look at our application, see if something changed. There shouldn't be any change. No change at all, just some margin top got added because now we have two margin tops, one at a button level and at a container level. We'll remove the one from button. And that way, everything remains exactly the same. So the functionality is working exactly the same and there's no change at all. Now let's add the remaining functionality to the button. Now what do we need to do? We need to, if product instance is in cart, then let's return something else null. So no change in experience if product instance is not in cart. But if it is in cart, let's add a badge. This is again a component that is coming from React Bootstrap. The type of this would be fill. Background should be, for now we want to capture the focus, so let's make that as danger. But you can choose any color you want. So it has you success, won, danger, information, all of these various color types. Class name. Then we'll start adding the required classes. And before that, we'll close the badge and the content of the badge would be product instance in cart.quantity. So we are interested in the quantity and that's what we want to showcase in the badge. Let's have a look. Now, if you add, you see the badge is coming up. But since we have not positioned it properly, it won't look correct. But at least the content and everything is refreshing. Now, how do we do this? So if you had to do this using plain CSS, you can play around and figure out the styles. If you position it absolutely, position absolute, great. It's already looking good. Then, now what do we want to do? This 3 is coming on the right side, but we wanted to have some overlap with the button. So for that, what we would do, we would transform this and translate this to minus 50% and then again minus 50%. Great. Then badge and rounded pill is already available. So I think these two, if we do, and just to be safe, we always want it to be. So right now we are not very explicit with the position. So we'll have it as left 100%. So the same outcome, but we are very explicit that we want it always to be on the 100% end of the button. And let's add these utility classes from Bootstrap. So Bootstrap has utility classes for all of these operations, and we'll go ahead and add that. So what are those classes? Those are position absolute, start 100, and then translate mid. Because these are very common operations that we keep on doing with position absolute elements. So now with this added, if we see here, cart is getting updated. The last thing that we want to do is update the variant and the text whenever product is in cart. So for this, it's again very easy. So we'll wrap this and if product instance is in cart, then it should show item in cart else we'll show add to cart. So one thing down, let's copy this and here we'll paste the same thing with this. So if product instance is in cart, let's update this to secondary, else this should be success as it was before. Save it, and I think we are done. Let's have a look at our button. All good. So now whenever you add something, it updates the quantity and it will also change the label from add to cart to item in cart. Looks really good. And that's all we had to do today. So what did we do today? We removed the add to cart button that we had initially in our product tile and created a proper reusable component which we can use to showcase the information whether the product is in cart and how many quantities of the product do we have in cart. So all that information is now available. And for showing the quantity, we are absolutely positioning a batch. And that's why the parent has to be set to position relative, because your absolutely positioned element take their position in relation to the nearest position relative element. So we want it to be positioned with respect to the div that's wrapping it. And that's why we've added all these classes. So if we are absolutely positioning this, then you're explicitly telling it that it should be at the end of the button, but have some overlap of 50% overlap at the corners. And that's what achieves this result that we see on our screen. And as usual, in case you need additional insights with something, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to guide you through in the best way possible. In the next video, we will create the cart experience, and the cart experience would have a lot more things coming in, and that's why we had to take care of this. Thank you for joining in. Have a great day.